Good morning students. I welcome you all to today's class. In this class I am going to discuss with you about hydrophytes. Hydrophytes, these are the plants which grow in aquatic or wet habitat. Example, Hydrilla, Jassia, Pistia, etc. Classification of hydrophytes. Hydrophytes are classified into three different types. They are submerged hydrophytes, floating hydrophytes and amphibious hydrophytes. Submerged hydrophytes. Hydrophytes which are present completely inside the water are called as the submerged hydrophytes. Example, Hydrilla and Utricularia. Floating hydrophytes. Hydrophytes which floats on the surface of water are called as the floating hydrophytes. Example, Pistia and Iconia. Amphibious hydrophytes. These are the hydrophytes which are adapted for both aerial and aqueous life. Example, Ranunculus, Trichophilus and Sagittaria sagittarifolia. These are the three hydrophytes. One is the submerged hydrophytes, second one is the floating hydrophytes and third one is the amphibious hydrophytes. Submerged hydrophytes are the hydrophytes which are present inside the water. Floating hydrophytes are the hydrophytes which floats on the surface of the water. Amphibious hydrophytes are the hydrophytes which exhibits both aerial and aqueous life. Let us move towards the adaptations of hydrophytes. There are three types. One is the morphological, second one is the anatomical and third one is the physiological. Starts with the morphological adaptation. Root. In majority of hydrophytes, roots are poorly developed. Root hairs are completely absent. In case of Pistia, root caps are replaced by root pockets. In case of Jassia, it bears a special type of spongy roots which helps for buoyancy, that is for floating. In case of Utricularia, root is completely absent. These are the pictorial which shows the root modification, that is, as in case of Jassia, there are white floating roots are present which is also called as spongy roots which helps for buoyancy. Buoyancy nothing but floating. In case of Utricularia, root is completely absent. In case of Pistia, root caps are replaced by the root pockets. Let us move towards the stem. In case of hydrophytes, stem is usually thin, delicate, smooth and spongy in nature. It is externally covered by the mucilage. In some cases, stem is modified into runner, stolon, sucker, rhizome and offset, etc. These are modification for vegetative propagation. As in the pictorial shows, Pistia shows the stem modification stolon, Iconia shows the stem modification offset which is meant for vegetative propagation. Let us move towards the leaf. In case of submerged hydrophytes like Hydrilla, leaves are highly dissected. In case of Vallisneria, it exhibits ribbon shape of leaf. In case of amphibious hydrophytes like Ranunculus, Trichophilus, heterophilic condition is present. That is, there are both submerged and aerial type of leaves are produced in the same plant. In case of Nymphea, waxy coating is present on the leaf. As I mentioned already, Hydrilla shows the dissected leaves as it is a submerged plant. Vallisneria shows the ribbon shaped leaves. In case of Ranunculus trichophilus, it is an example for the amphibious hydrophytes where both type of leaves are present. That condition is called as the heterophilic condition. Nothing but submerged like dissected leaves is also present and the aerial like normal leaf lamina is also seen. Such type is seen in case of the amphibious plants. It is one of the modifications. In case of Nymphea, waxy coating is present on the leaf surface. Let us move towards the anatomical adaptation. Cuticle is absent or poorly developed in hydrophytes. Stomata are usually absent. If present, it is non-functional in nature. Thin epidermal layer is present. Poorly developed mechanical tissue is seen. Aqueous tissues are well developed in hydrophytes, that is, presence of air cavities in the cortex region. Vascular tissues are poorly developed. In some hydrophytes, xylem is present as the small cavity. This is about the anatomical adaptation exhibited by the hydrophytes. As I mentioned in this pictorial of TS of Hydrilla stem, the epidermis is of thin layer, hypodermis is poorly developed. Whereas in the cortex region, the air cavities are well developed which helps for floating and the vascular tissues are represented as a small cavity. Let us move towards the physiological adaptation. Osmotic concentration of the cell sap in case of the hydrophytes is very low. Resistance for wilting is very low in case of the hydrophytes. Osmotic concentration of the cell sap, as we seen in case of the hydrophytes, is very low in condition. That is, it is already present in the water and there is no necessity of water absorption in large amount. So, the osmotic concentration of the cell sap is very low. Resistance for wilting is also very low in case of the hydrophytes. Let us move towards the reproduction. Hydrophytes reproduces through vegetative propagation by the formation of runner, stolon, offset, sucker and rhizome, etc. Flower production and seed settings are very rare in case of the hydrophytes. Hydrophytes are reproduces by the formation of vegetative propagation, that is through the runner, stolon, offset, sucker and the rhizome. Flower formation and seed settings are very rare in case of the hydrophytes. This is about the hydrophytes for this class. In the next class I am going to discuss with you another phyton. Thank you.